I really don't believe. You could make a serious argument that Trident is a good way to spend the taxpayers' money. I really don't.
If Scotland was to become independent, then it's questionable whether we would be able to remove Trident from Scottish waters in the short to medium term anyway.
Faslane Naval Base is the biggest employer in the local authority area and is a huge and massive development. It's about 5 miles out of the town centre. Many of our small local businesses do supply into the base, and one of the impacts if we were to lose the base would be the knock-on effect to private businesses.
A lot of our customers will be people that work in the base but live in Helensburgh, or have done all their life, and just that's where they work in Faslane, so they're customers of ours. But also there's people that have come from different areas, naval personnel that decide they like Helensburgh and stay in it. There's a lot of people employed at Faslane that are our customers.
A lot of local businesses, the property owners, because people are renting the flats, buying the houses, a lot of local businesses, schools and stuff like that is being facilitated by the Faslane. So when they move away, obviously it's a big chunk which will be taken from the Helensburgh, because from last 15-20 years they are the ones who's been keeping the Helensburgh alive.
If Scotland was to become independent, then it's questionable whether we would be able to remove Trident from Scottish waters in the short to medium term anyway. The current SNP government have made it very clear that their position is that Scotland should remain part of NATO. And as part of NATO, which is a nuclear alliance, we may well find that to negotiate our position in NATO, we end up having to accept the presence of nuclear weapons.
We're coming to one of our famous or infamous landmarks, the peace camp that is associated with the base. Developed in late 70s, I think they've just celebrated a 30th birthday, and we have developed a little community living on the edge of the road, which is fairly colourful to say the least.
Well, the peace camp, its end purpose is to stop there being a nuclear weapons base in Scotland. The main purpose of Trident is if England were attacked from another nuclear country, we'd be able to get them back in return. So it's kind of a revenge just in case sort of thing.
Even if a referendum voted to get rid of Trident, I'm not so sure they would be able to withstand the pressure from Whitehall and NATO for that matter, but I would hope it has a shot.
In the perfect world, yes, if we didn't need to have things like nuclear devastating power, it would be marvellous. But sadly, the world as it is a deterrent. So it's something that is not to be really wanting to be used. But sadly, it seems to be that we need something of that power to stop things happening.
The SNP position, a long-standing position, is to get rid of Trident from Scottish waters for a variety of reasons. The cost involved, the fact that they don't meet the strategic defence needs of the 21st century. You can't deploy a nuclear bomb against a terrorist threat. And of course the moral question of nuclear weapons themselves. They incinerate men, women and children with no discrimination if they're ever deployed.
I mean, think about all the money that goes into Trident. Think how well better it could be spent. I really don't believe. You could make a serious argument that Trident is a good way to spend the taxpayers' money. I really don't. We're never going to use it. God forbid that we ever did. It would be absolutely devastating if it did. And so it's just lying there. And not only that, but what we've got in Europe, we've got Britain and France. I've got nuclear weapons. The rest of Europe don't have it, and they live quite happily. You know, so I don't see the point. I know it would lose a lot of jobs, but the money that would be saved would create more, I think.